Hello and welcome back to my channel of Welshman Reviews, and welcome back to Horror Friday episode 8. So this is going to be a two-part video. So the first part is going to be my review for the newest horror film that's just been released this week, or the end of last week, which is Talk to Me. And the second half seems that this week would have been, I think, Wes Craven's 84th birthday, if he was still with us. I thought I would do my top 5 Wes Craven movies, so that'll be in the second part of the film, of this video. So the first half is we're going to talk about Talk to Me. So this was a brilliant horror movie. I really enjoyed this. I did. It is directed by two brothers, Danny Filippo, I think that's how you say it last, and Michael Filippo, who are Australians. This is an Aussie movie. Danny Filippo and Bill Heisman writes this from a concept by Daley Pearson. So pretty much the story is Mia, the main character, who is played by Sophie Wilde in, I think, her first acting role or movie role. It is. We find out about her that it's 2 years since her mother died, so she still feels the pain and that of that situation. She doesn't talk to her dad, and she pretty much spends most of her time with kind of like an adopted family. Her friend Jade, who played by Alexandra Jensen, her younger brother Joe Bird, who plays Riley, and the mother, who is Miranda Otto, who plays Sue, the mother, who you might recognise if you watch the movie from Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers and Return of the King. She's in that. She is. So she spends most of her time with them, and to get over or try to get some sense of why her mother passed away, because in the thing it's presumed she committed suicide. She took too many sleeping pills. They go over a friend's house who has a hand which lets you speak to spirits. So it's like a drug high. So it's not really drugs, but it is drug based. The whole part is where you shake the hand and say, "Talk to me," and then across from you you'll see a spirit. And then if you say, "Let me in," you allow that spirit to get in you, to be in you and possess you. But you can only do it for 90 seconds and light the candle, and when 90 seconds go, you blow out the candle, shut the door, the spirit's out thing. So it's pretty much her dealing with her, like I said, her mother's suicide. So she does this. So it's like a different take on drugs. And she's not taking drugs, but she needs something to kind of get her over the death of her mother. So she does it, and she gets kind of hooked on it. So first time she does it, she actually makes it over. It goes over the 90-second rule, but she does get the hand off in the end. They do, the friends of hers doing that, and then we get her then experiencing the spirits that have kind of entered her world now. It is. So we get a little thing like that. So she wants to do it again. And then we get another party then where they do it again, and it's a big montage of that one. Then you get a couple of funny laughs from it, like one of the boyfriends of Jade's character, he does, and he starts making out with a dog. It is very funny in some parts of this movie, and when the younger brother Riley does it, unfortunately, it's the spirit of her mother speaking. So he does it a bit longer. They were only going to do 50 seconds for him because he is, 15, I think, in the movie. It is, but we get a horrific scene then after that of him kind of bashing his head against the table and nearly killing himself on a corner of a cabinet and that. So the rest of the movie end is pretty much her grief over her friend. You know, she's close to the kid as well, nearly killing himself. Then you find out the kid is possessed. So every time he kind of wakes up in hospital, he tries to kill himself. So they've got to try now and get rid of the spirits. But the problem is with her, these spirits kind of feed her lies during the movie and that. So you don't know what's real. She doesn't know what's fake. and that. And we do get a really good end to the movie where it kind of comes full circle from the beginning of the movie to the end. So we get a nice full circle story, but I don't do the story justice. I don't go. I say definitely go and see it. It is a great movie. The acting in this from all the actors, especially Sophie Wilde, she's a standout in this as the main character. Mia, she is. But yeah, the other one is Alexander Jensen, who's Jade. Riley, Miranda Otto's mother, Sue. She's funny in this as well. She's really good. She's got some good one-liners. She has. Yeah, all the supporting cast in this are really good. It's excellent practical effects. It is, with some of the demons or spirits, let's say. So you see a few of them. Brilliant visual effects, brilliant atmosphere in this movie as well. Some people say it's a slow burn. I don't. I thought it was a perfectly paced movie. And for two guys who on their YouTube channel kind of like YouTubers at the end of the day, they do a great video in this on their channel of Star Wars versus Harry Potter, like a big fight scene. But you know, for two guys as their first director movie, you know, I can't give him more higher praise. You wouldn't believe this was done by first-time directors. I did hear as well off another channel that they supposedly were offered a role, a movie in the new DCU, James Gunn's one, but they passed up on it, which I think was a wise decision. They passed it up to carry on doing this movie, and I'm pretty glad they did do that, actually. But yeah, absolutely amazing. Great horror movie. It is a very different take on a possession movies. It is, I think, it's a nice fresh movie. It is, and I really can't wait to see what they do next, to be honest. So I'll be keeping an eye out on these two on what movies they do. But yeah, I definitely give this one a good 9 out of 10. I think it's a near perfect horror movie, and yeah, definitely go and see it if you're a big horror fan. So that's my review for Talk to Me. Next up, top 5 Wes Craven movies. So we're on to the second part of my video now, which is top 5 Wes Craven movies. So it would have been his 84th birthday this week, so I thought what a more fitting time to do my top 5 movies. This guy, if you're a horror fan and you don't know who Wes Craven is, you can't really call yourself a horror fan. He reinvented this genre at least 3 times, in my opinion. Definitely with Nightmare on Elm Street, A New Nightmare, which is where he brings things into the real world. It does, and definitely with Scream. It is. So yeah, very highly missed, unfortunately, but there's a few of his movies I've yet to see. It is surprising enough, I haven't seen The Last House on the Left, his first movie. I don't think I've seen The Serpent and the Rainbow, Shocker, and Vampire of Brooklyn I haven't seen. So there were a couple of movies on Red Eye, you know, a couple of ones which are supposed to be really good, so I've got to put them on my to watch list. But I will do my list now of the ones I have seen, which we will start off with number 5. So as you can see, number 5 is one I've already mentioned, A New Nightmare. I really think by bringing Freddy into the real world, he did do something a lot different from the previous installments. He brings back most of the characters from the first movie, which say some of the characters now. I will. Yeah, he brings back a few in it. Heather Landerkamp, as you know, she comes back, who's Nancy in the first movie. Robert Englund comes back as himself as well. They have a little a talk show segment, and then she has a chat with him on the phone while he's having these dreams where he's painting the new Freddy and stuff. Wes Craven makes a cameo in this as well. Also, her father from the first movie play as a cameo in this as well. It is. I forgot his name, to be honest. That's blasphemy, to be honest. But yeah, I think it reinvented again the horror genre by bringing it into the thing, and excellently directed. Miko Hughes, who plays the son of Heather Langenkamp in the movie, was excellent as a kid. And look out for um, Dylan's New Nightmare. It's a little fan-made film by a couple of guys from few people from the YouTube channels, The Horror Show, and Dave McRae plays, if you don't know him as well, he's got his own YouTube channel as well, voice actor. He plays the new Freddy in this. It's going to be coming out soon, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. It's a sequel to A New Nightmare, so can't wait for that. But yeah, I thought that was an excellent movie. This was, and yeah, definitely worthy of a top 5. So at number 4, we have the 1977 movie, The Hills Have Eyes. I really enjoy this one. I might be one of the few, but I do prefer the remake over this, which he did produce. Wes Craven did produce it. I do find that a bit better than this movie, but this movie is also excellent and all, with cannibals in the hills that stalk this family that's broken down. It is in the desert type setting. But yeah, excellent film. A little brutal in parts. Not as brutal as the remake, but excellent thing. One of his earlier movies. You can see where he was going with his direction around this stage and that. But yeah, excellent movie. One I watch at least once a year. It is. And so that is my number 4. So at number 4, we have the 1977 movie, The Hills Have Eyes. I really enjoy this one. I might be one of the few, but I do prefer the remake over this, which he did produce. Wes Craven did produce it. I do find that a bit better than this movie, but this movie is also excellent and all, with cannibals in the hills that stalk this family that's broken down. It is in the desert type setting. But yeah, excellent film. A little brutal in parts. Not as brutal as the remake, but excellent thing. One of his earlier movies. You can see where he was going with his direction around this stage and that. But yeah, excellent movie. One I watch at least once a year. It is. And so that is my number 4. So in at number 2 is the first Scream. So a lot of people probably say this is the movie that next thing to reinvent the horror genre in the 90s and that. I kind of agree with that, but I do think, like I said earlier, New Nightmare did that as well. But what can I say about this movie? Absolutely so enjoyable. Only if the kills ain't exactly amazing today's standards. You get a lot more gorier kills these days. But you've got to think, when this came out, I remember being in school and a lot of people trying to mimic the voices and stuff like that, phoning people and that. But yeah, very, very good movie. I always class this as a perfect starting point for people who want to get into horror movies. I wouldn't really show them the earlier stuff from the 60s, 70s and that, because you could say they were a bit of a slow burn and that. This one has everything. It's kind of fast paced, has some good kills in it. Don't get me wrong, especially the first one with Casey. I want to say Casey, but yeah, Casey, Drew Barrymore's character. It is Roger Jackson who done the voice of thing. Met him at a HorrorCon last year. Great guy. It is. David Arquette as Dewey, Courtney Cox as Gail Webb, as Neve Campbell as Sydney. You got Skeet Aldrich and Matthew Willard as the two killers. It is, everything for this movie I think fell into place and all that. And there's where Kevin Williamson as writer as well, which I think he was writing Dawson's Creek before this, I think. So, everything fell in place for this movie, and it is still a brilliant movie when you watch today. But I always say, if you want to start off with horror, I think with newbies, I think this is the perfect starting point for that. So yeah, Scream is my number 2. So you can kind of probably guess what my number 1 is going to be, but let's find out. So yes, number one is A Nightmare on Elm Street. Obviously, the first one he didn't direct 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that he didn't. So, but yeah, definitely this one, written and directed by him. It is. It was a game changer from what you were getting. It is more silent killers around that time. So we got a killer who likes to speak. Not so funny in this one. He is more sinister. He is Freddy Krueger is in this one, but you know, a great storyline of he was a child killer and the parents got their revenge on him, and he comes back as a dream demon, killing all the kids of the parents that killed him. Brilliant movie. I do love that series. You know, Johnny Depp was in this one as well. You do get a bit, always in the horror movies of the early days, even these days and all that, most of the actors always have their thing in their starring role or their breakout role in horror movies. So, you know, Robert Englund as the, you know, Freddy Krueger, he was, you know, born for that role. It was. You can't really think of anyone else playing that role now. I think anyone who else plays it, especially when the new Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake, came out, I didn't find him too bad and all that, but you can't beat Fred. You can't beat Robert Englund. Great guy. I've met him on a convention as well. Great guy to speak to and all that, who loves the horror genre, just loves movies really and that. But yeah, such a brilliant movie. Love the music, the direction, the cinematography. Some of the practical effects in this movie are absolutely outstanding as well. I always say with horrors, practical effects are where you gotta go for horror movies. Especially the kill of say her name. Oh, Amanda Weiss, who plays Tina Gray, who you think is pretty much the final girl of this movie, but she's not. She's pretty much one of the first kill, and her kill spinning around in the air, blood squirting everywhere, absolutely iconic. Lynn Shay's in this as well as a teacher. You'll know her from the Insidious movie. She's been in loads of other stuff as well. But yeah, absolutely brilliant, and definitely his best movie in my opinion. A lot of people probably put Scream, maybe Scream 2. It is. I'm not the biggest fan of Scream 2, to be honest, but you know, it's a brilliant thing. And you know, you go through his filmography, he's got loads of great movies in there as well. Yeah, a few not so great as well, but you can enjoy them. You can enjoy the bad ones. Like one that comes to mind is Cursed. Not the best movie, but I do enjoy the funny, campy side of that movie. So that's my top 5 Wes Craven films. Tell me in the comments what your top 5 are. I'd love to know what you lot think of his movies as well. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up as well. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next Horror Friday. Bye.